Good morning, everyone. My name is Laura Stranks and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. Thanks for joining me this morning. Before I get started on this lovely card, I'll just fill you in on a few things. If you're watching now and it's your first time watching, this is my YouTube channel. It's called Creative Gems. Love you to subscribe if you haven't already done so. I have got a Facebook group which is called Laura's Craft Room Tips and Tutorials. It's a rather large group. All the PDFs for these cards and all the ones I do on my YouTube channel are in the Files tab in that group. So I do put the measurements in for the instructions in the comment section of the video today, so you can find them there. But the actual PDF with all the instructions for the video, they are in that Facebook group in the Files tab. Just type in the name and you'll find it in there. I also do live videos in there on a Saturday morning where the PDFs for those go into the Files tab as well. You can craft along with me on the lives. I put up the measurements through the week, and you can craft with me on the Saturday morning. You have all your pieces cut and we do it together. If you wish to join that group, there are 2 questions you need to answer. One is that you agree to the rules of the group, and also why you'd like to join the group, whether it be you want to get my tutorials or whether you just want some card ideas. That's fine. If you don't see the questions on the device you're on, try going to a different device. If you're on your phone and you don't see them, go to an iPad or your PC and you'll find the questions there. I also have a Facebook page called Cards by Laura. You can follow along in that Facebook page. There's no questions or anything to answer for that. And lots of ideas in there. There's no tutorials or instructions or anything for the cards. They're just the cards that I do at my workshops and classes. So with all that being said, we shall get started on today's card. There is a reason why I have 3 samples of this. I record my videos, as I've always mentioned, and the first couple that I did one and I watched the replay back and it was all blurry, so I left that one. I did another card and that was still blurry. My first one, this was my first one, my sample card that I made for my videos, and then I did 2 more after that, which the video was blurry. So I'm hoping this morning that my grandson was here last night and he fixed what the problem was. I'd hit a button accidentally that focused on my hands at the front and blurred the background out. So you would find that last week's video is a little bit blurry. It's okay to get the idea of the card, but I do apologize if it was a bit blurry for you. So this is what we're going to do today, and I know it off the top of my head because I've done 3 already. It's called a double box fun fold. I'm going to put these ones aside. I'll leave one there in view a little bit. And the pieces you will need, which I have prepped already for the 4th time, are my main box. There's 2 main sections of the box. One is the bigger box at the back. A box is this section here at the back, and then this one here creates another box on the top. Quite easy to do. The main one is 9 3/8 by 4 1/4. That's that one there, and I'll show you the scoring on that in a minute. And then the top box is 5 1/8 by 2 1/2. All these measurements will be in the description box of this video. Then my mats, that was in Lost Lagoon. My mats are in Petal Pink, which matches the DSP that I'm going to use this morning. We'll put that one aside because that's an extra one. So these 2 here, 4 inches by 3 3/4. You'll need 2 of those. Now I'm doing an alternate back pattern. One of the mats here, that's one of these. The one I'm doing today, I'm going to do a full cover on the back. So I've labelled this as an alternate back panel. and that measures 5 1/4 by 4. So I'm going to fill the whole entire back with my writing panel today. So that's just a little bit different on this next one. Then we have, that if you're doing the other one, that's those two there. Then we have 4 inches by 1 1/4. That's this piece here. That will go down on the top of there. 4 inches by 3/4 of an inch. There's 2 of those, and they are down on that inside panel and on this outside panel here. There's 2 of those. 4 by 3/4 of an inch. My embossed panel, which is this piece here, this is going on the front of this part here. I've embossed this with the cane weave embossing folder. That is 3 1/2 by 2 1/4. You just need 1 of those, and then 1 of 2 1/4 by 3/4, and that goes on the end of that box there. So that's all those pieces. That's all your mats. My DSP, I've chosen the this lovely paper here, which is called Frames and Flowers DSP. Really nice. There's lots of pop-out pieces that you can use, and also large sheets of the 12 by 12 to make some lovely cards. That's currently in the annual catalogue for Stampin' Up. I have a lot of pop-out pieces that I use just one of these small stamp cases, and because they kept getting mixed up in the packs, so I popped a lot of them out and put them in a case for myself. Nice and easy to find what you want then. So my pieces, I've got 1 of these 3 3/4 by 3 1/2. That's my main pattern at the front. 3 3/4 by 1, which is this one here, which goes on the top of that one there. And then 3 3/4 by 1/2 an inch, 2 of, and I've chosen an alternate pattern. I went with the reverse pattern of that one, which is this. I think it's the reverse of this one. Yes, the reverse of that one. So I've got 2 of those. They're down on the insides of there. I've reversed the pattern on the inside blocks. 3 3/4 by 1/2 an inch, 2 of those, and 2 inches by 1/2 an inch is the little one on the end of that there. So that's all those pieces. My decorations, now at the back, as I said before, I'm doing an alternate pattern. Instead of my basic white here, which is, if you do this one, your basic white will be 3 3/4 by 3 1/2. My alternate one, which is my pink, actually the pink one I've mentioned up here, the alternate one, 5 1/4 by 4, that's that one. Then I cut a piece of white to go in behind that here. That is 4 1/2 by 3. And then I'm going to put that over the top. The white panel will then give me a writing panel in the centre. This goes with the paper that I chose. So that's my back panel this time. Then I've got some decorations for the front as well. I'll go through those in a minute. Just have a mouthful of water. Always manage to get croaky. It's a cold morning here in Brisbane. So that's all the pieces you will need. Bit of scrap white for your greeting and decorations. Depends on what decorations you're doing. So we shall go back to our pieces and do some scoring. I should know these off by heart now. I'll put those aside. I'll show you all the cards at the end. And we have our main piece, the bigger piece. It's going to get scored at 5 1/2 there, and 6 1/2. So you'll need your arm out if you're using a Stampin' Up trimmer. 6 1/2 and 8 and 9, 8 inches. A lot of my spare cards that I do on my videos and my workshops and things, I do donate to charities, so that I don't get when they start to build up a bit, I call on a few people that I know that take them for nursing homes and other types of charity fundraising groups. This one here, the smaller piece, you're going to score it at 3 3/4. I'll do the scoring and get that out of the road. 3 3/4 and 4 3/4. That's on the long side on both. So you'll end up with 1/2 inch tab on each end of each piece. That will be all you'll need that for. We will need that again later. I'll show you how I line up so I get my boxes nice and straight. Now all of these are going to get folded into valley folds. That's the little tab at the end. Then we have the other 3. Like so. We'll get those straight so they're nice and create a nice straight box. And the same with the smaller one. We'll go this way. Let's cut lines that way. Down into valley folds. All the same way with your folds. There's not like a concertina where you go up and down. So that one ends up like that. And this one ends up like so. We've got that one there and that one there. But I'll show you how to get it so we get a nice straight box. Now, we're going to use some tear and tape. I'm going to put tear and tape on these 2 end pieces here. These little tab pieces. Not on the score line, just below the score line. On each end. And we're going to decorate before we assemble the box because it's much easier to put all your decoration pieces on or your panels on while it's flat. I burnish my tape every time so it gets it nice and flat and it's not going to lift when you lift the backing off. So we'll work on this main piece first, which is the back panels here. All of these. I'll adhere these down. I might use my seal for this. I can use liquid glue, but I'll see how we go. Sometimes this doesn't always go the best way. See what happens. If you give it a bit of twist at the end, it works fine. Did that go? No. See, it's gone off the end of the roll again, which happens quite often. So I'm going to revert to the liquid glue. I'll just finish that one off, and now it's really gone. I'm not fussed on these at the moment. They have lots of trouble. We shall put that aside. We'll use liquid glue on the rest. So just evenly put your DSP on the top of those. And the other one is, we're not going to need that one because that's the back panel one. We'll leave that one off. We'll use those for our back panel. This one here, I don't think the leaves go in any sort of direction, but these only go, because it's not square, they only go one way. So I'm going to put it that way, and we'll go to the liquid glue. My preferred adhesive. And that one will go, so long as you've got the 1/8 of an inch border, don't worry about this side just yet, it'll work itself out. But you've got the 1/8 of an inch border all the way around on that end. And then flip it up this way. All our other panels are going on this side. So we've got this wider one to go on the top with the same pattern. Just adhere your DSP to your mats. That will go on there in the centre wide one. The 2 outside ones are the alternate pattern that I reversed from the back of this And that one will slot in there with the 1/8 inch border all the way around. These two narrow ones with the reverse paper. Tiny bit of glue. I do apologise again for last week's video. If you were watching it, it's blurry in spots, and I didn't realise until after I'd uploaded it, and I wasn't sure what to do, so I left it at, you can still see the main part of the video. It's not as blurry. It gets blurry when my hands are close. It sort of focuses on my hands at the front. I worked out what I did. Well, I didn't. My grandson worked out what I did wrong. Well, not what I did wrong, but I'd accidentally hit a button on the front screen that focuses on one part and blurs the background out. I think if you're doing something where you want it like that, but I don't. So we played around last night with it, and he said, try that, Nana. So, and I did a quick 10-minute video this morning just with talking and nothing, no constructing or anything, and it seemed okay. So hopefully I shall watch this one back before I post it, before I upload it, and hopefully it's all nice and clear. And if you'd like to comment on my video, I'd love you to do so, whether you like my design. This one's been around for quite a while, but I have changed a lot of things on it. I added these extra side panels. This one was originally here, but all these side panels I've added extra. Now I've got a little piece, there it is, underneath. This one, this tiny piece is going on the end of that other small box. So we'll put that one on as well. So this is an extra. It's not normally on. A bit of extra glue there that I don't want. So a bit sticky. Got a little wipe there that I can wipe my fingers so I don't get glue everywhere. That's better. So this one's going on this smaller piece. I find if I prep all my pieces first when I'm doing a card, before I assemble anything, I have everything cut and ready to go. And then, so this one here is going on this little panel here. Sits just in there. And it will sit this way with this side up here. I'll show you on this card. So it sits this way. So this little panel goes in down this side here. So you can put that one on. We will be using some more tear and tape to adhere some of the boxes as well. I'll put that one down that strip edge there. So much easier to assemble when it's flat. But as I was saying, I don't assemble anything until I sort of lay it out roughly how I want it before I assemble. Nothing worse than starting a card, having it, you stuck a heap of pieces down and you think, no, I don't want it like that, then you can't get it up again. So cut all your pieces first. That's how I tell my class girls to do it. We'll leave that piece for a minute and we shall do this one. So what you're going to do, and I thoroughly recommend your trimmer again with this. Move all that out of the road a little bit. I'm going to, well, we don't need that just yet. That's for the second. That's for the second box to go on. So take the back off that. Fold it on that centre score line there, the last score line. Fold these two pieces back. So you've got the small tab score line there, and then the next one. So fold it back on itself there. Fold it down on this centre score line here, down like so. Line it up evenly on your sides and give it a good press. And it gets you a nice square box, like so. That's the decoration bit on that. Now, this piece here, I'm going to show you. This is where we come in with our trimmer again. You're going to butt that end up against the edge here of your trimmer. You can lay this flat down in half as it was before. We're going to take this piece, take the backing off your tear and tape, fold that under, fold the whole piece under like so. So you fold it on that score line and that score line, the same as you did the bigger piece. And you're going to butt this up. Now I'm holding that up so the tape doesn't stick down before I want it. And I'll move that down a little bit. Keep that butted up against there. It takes sort of, I might stand up and then I won't have my head in the road. So I'm lining that up halfway even panels on each side and butt it up against that same ridge at the end there of your card. That way you know they're both going to be nice and flush. I didn't push it in the right place then. We'll line that up again. Drop that down like so. And then that sits up like so. That's all you'll need your trimmer for. And I'll show you how there goes the blade out of it. Pop that back in later. So this piece here, you're going to go flat this way now. Lie this flat, bring this across, and it will lie flat like so. So you've got this laying out flat and that laying out flat, so that when that's adhered, it's going to sit back up like that. So what I'm going to do, I won't decorate the front of that until after. Put a couple of strips of tear and tape down this outer edge here. If you do them fairly close to the edge and close to each other, it's about the right width that you need to adhere down to that other side. It's going about halfway across this panel here. So we shall put those two down like that. You could use liquid glue on this. That's fine. I prefer the tear and tape because it gives you a little bit more strength. Burnish those down. Take the backing off those. Lay that flat. Bring this over and pull it out flat so that you've still got the folded under piece, and just drop it down onto there. So it would look like that when you're sticking it down. Then you pop it back up and you've got your two boxes. Nice and easy, and it comes up lovely and square for you if you do it that way. Now we've got this panel here to put on the top. I can use liquid glue on that. I won't worry about the tear and tape. I'll use a bit extra because it's been embossed and it just needs a little bit more glue to sit down into the little dippy bits on the embossed part. This is in Petal Pink and the other was Lost Lagoon. So I'll pop that in on top. We can lay that flat just to keep it nice and flat for you and nice and even. Now I've got all of these pieces. So I've stamped this. This is out of, I shall show you the stamp set, labelled with love. Excuse me. It says enjoy today. That one there. These are out of the Stylish Shapes dies. This is out of the Frames and Flowers little pop-out pieces. That die fits perfectly on there if you want to cut out an extra piece to pop it up. So I'm going to put that into there. I'm going to pop this up on the front of this. Now, so long as you don't end up with this, any decoration you do, you don't want it past this, because when you fold your card flap, which will go this way, you don't want it hanging over that edge. So just make sure if you centre it on here without any hangover pieces, you'll be fine. Just not past the edges of that, or any longer than the width of the card either. So I'm going to put this part flat first. I'll just put some liquid glue in the centre of that. And I've got some other, besides my dimensionals, I've got my adhesive sheets, foam adhesive sheets that I'm going to use to hold the greeting up. Give that a good press down. These here, I use them quite a bit. They're foam adhesive sheets, and they're good if you've got a large square piece like that and you want it nice. And just trying to find this piece at the back. I did cut, that one's a bit small. I'll cut another one. I did have one cut, but I'm not sure where I put it. That's okay, we'll be going to use them all through. So they're a little bit thicker than a dimensional, but they're a good size if you want to cut a backing for something you want to pop up. So I'm just going to cut that a little bit smaller than the size of the die cut piece. And it gives you a nice flat surface to put your greeting on. So we'll just take the backing off that. It does save you, they'd probably work out a little bit more expensive, but it saves you using, say, 6 or so dimensionals at the back of it. Where did that go? It flicked over there. I'm not sure where it went. I'll find it in a sec. I just lost my greeting. I took the back off and the back and the whole lot went. Now that's handy. We shall find it. Not sure where it went. I saw it go. Excuse me a minute while I find it. Oh, here it is, underneath the big sheet. I took the backing off the other side and then lost it. So we'll take that off there, and that will sit nicely on there. I've got some embellishments to put on this as well. It could be a little bit straighter, but it's not too bad. That's that. And then the backing piece we want here. So you can keep laying that flat to put your pieces on. I'm going to put this, that's the measurements on that, 4.5 by 3. I did write that on the you could go a little bit bigger that fitted. Depends what one you use. I'm going to put the glue on this piece here so that I don't end up with glue inside that pop out piece. I don't want it hanging out. Won't matter if you go out there because it's going to go onto one of the mats anyway. We'll pop that with the other side down. So that will go on there. And then this will sit on here. I can put a little bit more glue around the edge of that. And in the centre. Whoops. We'll pop that down on there. And that's got the little 1/8 inch border all the way around. I do like this paper. It's really pretty. I love the frames and things that come with it. So we shall pop that down on the back. Gives you a little bit more writing space or a little bit more space to put decoration as well. Some of those frames give you a little bit more detail on them. And that will pop on the back. Makes the back a lot more firmer as well. So that's the back. It doesn't need anything else on there. And we have got a couple of embellishments. I'm using the Adhesive Back Pearl Trio, and I thought I would use these ones here are there's Pretty Peacock and Calypso Coral. There is Pretty Peacock in the colours in the paper, so I thought I'd use them because they do stand out a little bit more. I'll get a couple off here, lay that flat. Just 3 on there will be fine, like so. I could use either colour of those because that Calypso Coral is the colour in those flowers as well. So either of those would work. And that is my card for card number 4. I do find it an easy card to make, so I've got a few that I can give away, a couple of birthday ones, and yes, that's it from me. Thank you for watching. I just do hope that this video is nice and clear for you, and I shall catch you all again next Monday at 9 AM. Have a lovely week. Bye for now.